Ever stumble upon something, seemingly super ordinary, but then, bam, you're like down this rabbit hole of fascinating
Oh,
details.
tell me about it. Happens all the time.
Right. That's what happened to me with this company, Angelic Services. Senior care out there in Gaffney, South Carolina. You wouldn't think twice, but their website, let me tell you, it's a gold mine.
Really?
What
What they uncover. See, your care can be such a black hole sometimes,
Yeah.
so much going on behind the scenes.
Exactly. And that's why we're diving deep today, not just into what Angelic Services does, but what it tells us about like the whole aging experience in America.
Fascinating. So what's their angle then?
Yeah.
Every senior care company has their thing, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so in-home care, adult daycare, pretty standard stuff. But then I saw this line, leaving home is not your only option. Almost like a slogan.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. It's that fear factor, isn't it?
Yeah.
So many seniors terrified of leaving their homes.
Bingo. Angelic Services, they get that. They're like, hey, you've got choices, aging on your own terms. It's reassuring, especially for families, I bet.
Huge selling point. But it's one thing to say it, another to actually deliver. What's their track record like?
That's where it gets even more interesting. The owner, Katrina Smith, almost 30 years as a nurse. And not just any nurse, she's specialized in dementia and Alzheimer's care. Talk about expertise.
Wow, that's not something you see every day. I mean, that's true dedication right there, not just jumping on the senior care bandwagon.
Exactly. It's like if you're entrusting someone with your loved one,
Mhm.
who better than someone who's lived and breathed this stuff for decades?
Huge peace of mind, especially with dementia. It's so complex, so heartbreaking. Families need that extra layer of assurance.
Totally. And here's the other thing that really struck me. They're very upfront about affordability. Veterans assistance, Medicaid, even state vouchers. They list it all.
Interesting. That's not something you see every senior care company shouting from the rooftops. Usually it's all about private pay, premium services.
Right. But with Angelic Services, it's like they're saying, we're here for everyone, no matter your situation. Refreshingly honest, I thought.
Definitely. It speaks volumes about their priorities, wouldn't you say? Like they actually care about accessibility, not just profits.
Absolutely. And then, get this, they've got this new transportation service they're over the moon about. I mean,
Sure.
they mention it twice on the website.
Twice.
Okay.
Okay, they're definitely trying to get the word out about that. What's the big deal? Seems like a small detail.
You'd think so, but for seniors who can't just hop in the car, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's their connection to the outside world. Doctor's appointments, visiting friends, even just getting out of the house.
Ah, I see your point. It's about freedom, isn't it? That sense of independence that so many seniors crave. Angelic Services, they get it.
It's like unlocking a whole world of possibilities, right? Instead of being confined, suddenly you have the freedom to, like, go to a doctor's appointment, visit a friend, maybe even head to historical downtown Gaffney, which, by the way, they made sure to mention they're close to.
And that's not a coincidence either. Their location, right by the hospital, doctor's offices, even the nursing home. It speaks to a strategic decision to be in the heart of the senior care ecosystem. They're not just providing a service, they're plugging into a network of support.
It's like they've got it all figured out, huh? Down to the location, even. The more we dig into Angelic Services, the more impressed I am. They're not just like throwing services out there, they're really trying to get the whole picture of what a senior needs.
And that's where you got to think. Katrina's experience is key. We talked about dementia care, but imagine the kind of company culture she sets. Her staff is probably trained to a T on empathy, understanding, stuff you just can't fake.
No kidding. It's the human touch, right? You want your loved one treated with dignity. If I was a senior or had family needing this, knowing the owner herself gets it, that'd be huge.
Totally. Speaks volumes about their values. And it ties into the whole affordability thing, too. I mean, with her background, they could easily charge top dollar, be super exclusive, but they don't.
Yeah.
That tells you something.
Right. It's like they're in it for the right reasons, not just the bottom line. They get that this kind of care, it shouldn't be a luxury. It should be for everyone.
Yeah, proving you can be successful and socially responsible at the same time. They've thought of everything. Emotional needs, the financial side, keeping seniors connected to their community. It's pretty remarkable.
It really is. Makes you wonder why more companies aren't doing this. Angelic Services, they've set the bar pretty high.
They have. And that's the cool thing about these deep dives, right? It's not just about one company. It's like we're uncovering best practices, getting people inspired, maybe even changing the whole conversation about senior care.
Because seriously, why shouldn't this be the standard? Compassionate care, affordable, looking at the whole person.
Exactly. Angelic Services is showing it's possible. They're not just filling a gap. They're giving everyone a blueprint to follow.
Okay, so we've covered Katrina's background, the services, the affordability, even their smart location. But there's this one other thing on their website. I got to ask about it.
Let me guess. The adult daycare program.
Hmm.
They do dedicate a lot of space to that.
Yeah. It's like
Go
they
ahead.
know people might not get it, so they're going the extra mile. Which honestly makes sense. Not every senior needs 20/47 care. But that social interaction, activities, the support.
Like a stepping stone, right? Between living on your own and needing more help. You keep your routine, your home, but you've got somewhere to go during the day. Keeps you active, engaged.
And it's more than just, bingo and chit-chat, right?
Hmm.
They mentioned memory care activities, which, knowing Katrina, are probably top-notch. Plus, help with daily stuff, like meds.
It's about that safety net, right? You're not alone, but you're still independent. You can socialize, do activities that actually work for you, maybe even find some new hobbies, all while having trained folks right there, keeping an eye out.
And let's be real, that's huge for family caregivers, too. Knowing your loved one's safe, happy, occupied, it frees you up to work, run errands, whatever needs doing.
Exactly. It's like angelic services, they get that it's not just about the senior, it's the whole family unit that's affected. Support system's got to be strong all around.
Totally. They're really hitting on something crucial there. And it brings us back to the bigger picture, doesn't it? We tend to think of senior care as like medical stuff. But angelic services, they're showing it's about so much more. Dignity, connection.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that seniors, they still have so much to give. We just got to create the space for them to do it.
Exactly. It's about seeing them as valuable members of the community, which they are. And honestly, digging into this, it's given me hope. It is possible to do senior care differently.
You know,
Angelic Services is proof.
100%. They're like the little company that could,
Yeah.
showing everyone else how it's done. Compassion, innovation,
Yeah.
truly understanding what matters. It's inspiring.
It really is. So to everyone listening, next time you think about senior care, remember Angelic Services. They're more than just a business. They're setting a new standard.
Right. And it's not just about aging, it's about living. Angelic services, they get that.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
It's about new beginnings, new connections, finding your purpose no matter your age. And hey, maybe Angelic Services' story will inspire you to do a little deep dive of your own. You never know what's out there.
Exactly. Keep your eyes open, your mind curious. You never know what hidden gems you'll find.